I'm excited by the fact today there are so many tools for businesses of all sizes to take advantage of to help them be more efficient in telling their stories. The challenge with that is, with that many tools, you need to have a way to integrate them all so they work well together.
This is Velocitize Talks, and I'm Eric Jones. I'm here with Andrew Lindsay, who's the VP of Corporate and Business Development at HubSpot. Andrew, it's great to have you.
It's great to be here, Eric.
Andrew, I wanted to dive right in and ask you, tell us a little bit about what HubSpot does.
Sure. HubSpot is a growth platform that's focused on helping small, medium, and large businesses grow better, and help them do that through our full stack of SaaS products that include a marketing hub, a sales hub, and a service hub, all built on top of our free CRM. So you can have full context of customers as they move through the full pathway of your business, from being attracted to your products and your services in the first place, being engaged with your teams, and then delighting them and turning them from being a customer into a promoter.
So queuing in on that word, attraction, HubSpot's been known for inbound. In fact, it's the name of your conference. Tell us a little bit about the evolution that you've seen in inbound, from where it was a couple of years ago and where it is today, and maybe even most importantly, where you see it headed in the future.
Sure. So when HubSpot was founded back in 2006, there was a real shift in the way that customers and buyers learned about businesses. Right? In the 90s, it was about talking to the sales teams and being engaged by them, and a salesperson had all the information. Right? In the 2000s, with the proliferation of the internet and the explosion and the access of information, it became much easier for buyers to learn about companies and products themselves. And so the inbound movement was around helping individuals learn about your products and services at the time that they're engaged in the process, right? So putting information out into the market so that individuals can go out and find it. Well, that's changed a little bit, and that's evolved, and the company's evolved with that as well. Now, it's not so much that individuals are looking to companies and their information for making decisions. They're actually looking to their friends. They're looking to their coworkers. They're looking to their acquaintances for word of mouth recommendations. That's the number one way people are learning about businesses and learning about making decisions. And so the inbound is not just about marketing. Now it's about marketing and also delighting customers. And delighting those customers and turning them from being, again, this idea of a person who's like the output of a process, but a part of a entire journey where they become a promoter and they're excited. They go and advocate for you as well. And that's about being inbound too. And so that evolution we've made as a company to match what's happening in the market.
Marketing certainly has seen quite a bit of change over the last even 8 years. You look at Scott Brinker's landscape. It's gone from 150 companies to over 7,000 this year. Including both HubSpot and WP Engine. In your role as VP of Corporate and Business Development, what are some of the areas that you're most excited by right now?
Well, I'm excited by the fact today there are so many tools for businesses of all sizes to take advantage of to help them be more efficient in telling their stories. The challenge with that is, with that many tools, you need to have a way to integrate them all so they work well together. And for us at HubSpot, that's meant evolving into a platform where we now have over 300 different companies that are integrated into the HubSpot platform that share information, share product features, so that individuals and customers can take each one of those tools and each one of those point solutions and integrate it into that platform that we have, so that they can have a stack that works very well together so their information is not siloed. That's really important to us.
One of those amazing collaboration tools is Slack.
Absolutely.
And you recently had the good fortune to be present for their IPO.
Yeah.
That's an incredible story in and of itself, right? What are the elements, of a really, really, truly successful partnership like that that you've been able to build with Slack? And what is it that you feel sort of distinguishes those types of partnerships?
Sure. There's a couple things that has made the Slack story incredible and the Slack plus HubSpot story incredible too. One is having a shared view and shared compassion for your customer, right? That's, if you have a company that's customer centric and another one that's revenue-centric, it's not going to work. For us, we are 100% dedicated on solving problems for our customers, and that will spur everything else and all kind of goodness for our business. We share that with Slack, right? And so from a cultural standpoint, that makes it very easy to partner. So that's one piece of it. The second piece of it is looking at the same kinds of problems, and whether or not they're the exact same or they're adjacent to each other, as long as they're well aligned, that's essential for a good partnership. So Slack is focused on changing the way that individuals collaborate with others within the company, right? They think of themselves as a collaboration tool. Now for HubSpot, we think of ourselves as a growth tool, and collaboration is an essential part of that inside of any business. And so we are attacking these similar problems in similar ways, and it makes so much sense for us to do it together. And so that's why we partnered with them starting last year, and we continue to evolve the partnership today. I'm thrilled by the kind of growth that they're seeing. The IPO is a fantastic sign of that success, and it's just indicative of how Slack thinks about partnering, how we think about partnering in a like-minded way.
So pulling back a little bit from those different elements of the whole experience, why do you think it is that so many different companies are really truly thinking deeply about how to reimagine that whole customer experience?
Yeah, it's born out of how customers are changing, right? The customers' expectations now are just different than what they used to be. They're much higher, right? The customers are constantly being bombarded with messages, trying to pitch them things, trying to sell them things. But at the same time, they have a much broader array of choice. Right? Again, back to the internet, you have this wide selection of opportunities, whether it's B2B or B2C, that they now have to choose between. And it's much more important than ever before for the companies that are providing something distinctive to be able to convey that to their customers in a way that their customers can understand what differentiates them. And that's, again, because this core difference today of there being much more access to information. I think that's one of the major differences. I think the other key difference today is that the ability to start a company is very different, right? So historically, if you wanted to start an internet company, you have to think long and hard about the incorporation process, trying to get a server, that's very difficult. Trying to go find talent, that's very difficult. Now, all of this has been simplified through the advent of very simple solutions, whether it's AWS or it's companies like WP Engine or it's companies like HubSpot, which make it much easier to start a business, right? So you have many more businesses starting. So not only do you have more businesses in the market, but you have customers having more access to those businesses. And those two factors are a major change in the market.
We both had some news this morning in the form of a partnership between WP Engine and HubSpot, an actual integration. What is it about the combination of a CMS and a CRM that you think is so powerful today?
It is a core part of what every company should have in their marketing stack, right? Every company has a website, right? That's just a rite of entry and it's a rite of passage for a business. Every company should care about its customers. If they care about its customers, should make sure they have the tools to manage those customer relationships in a thorough and comprehensive way, right? And so the CMS ensures that you have the most stable, accurate website, and the CRM ensures that that information that you have around your customers is integrated well into it, right? And so very specific examples, if you have a customer who visits a website, you want to know that, right? And you want to know if they're filling out a form, and you want to be able to track that. And if they want to speak to a salesperson, you want to track those conversations, right? And so that engagement on your website, from initial clicking on pages through to your salesperson, you want to be able to track and have a record of that. And that record is very important, especially as you want to delight them when they have a conversation with the service person later, right? And so that can only happen if your CRM is integrated with your CMS. So that's why this WP Engine HubSpot partnership is so important. I really do believe that every company should be thinking around having those two functions deeply integrated in their business.
Well, and it's probably also true that it's your own properties that will give you the best data about your customer,
That's right.
rather than through social channels or paid channels, because you control that entire experience.
You control that experience, but you also want to be able to ensure that you're tracking those customers so you know about the experience that they have, so you can provide them the best value, whether it's on your website or if they are clicking on a Facebook ad or a Google ad, that's going to feed into your CRM as well. And you want to have that one view of your customers so you have the ability to provide them with the best answers and the best insights as they're seeking questions around your business or challenges that they've encountered.
HubSpot offers its own CMS, and yet you're also branching out into WordPress. Tell us a little bit about the motivation behind that decision.
Yeah, so we've had our own CMS for a long time. We've had a plugin for a little while. What we've done is we've refreshed the plugin, and it's out of a recognition that different businesses have different needs. For some businesses, it makes sense to be on the HubSpot CMS, right? Other businesses, for a variety of reasons, it makes sense for them to be on WordPress. I mean, a third of the internet, right, is on WordPress. So it makes sense that not everyone's going to be on the HubSpot CMS. And for that third of the internet, want to make sure that we provide them the same tools and the same benefits of our free CRM through a plugin that we provide to our CMS directly, right? So that's why we've refreshed this plugin, and that's why we're working with the best managed hosting company out there in WP Engine to make sure that we are able to provide this answer to and provide this solution to the customers out there.
So talking about digital experiences, do you feel, or are you seeing a sort of change in the digital experiences that you need to create for the youngest among us, Gen Z, versus the prior generations, millennials or even Gen X or boomers?
Yeah, I don't know how many millennials and Gen Zs and Gen Xers you come across. I come across the full range, right? And you probably have family in the same way, and you see whether it's at Thanksgiving or other times how they just interact differently, right? And when I look at the generation coming up now and the way that they expect to interact both with each other and how they interact with businesses is just different, right? They expect to be able to communicate not just on a website and certainly not by text, but by WhatsApp, by Facebook Messenger, by chat pages, by
TikTok.
Video, by TikTok, right? Have you spent any time on TikTok?
I have.
It's
actually.
fascinating.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It's amazing.
It's like a completely different way.
It blew my mind.
Blew my mind too. I have all these pop-ups about TikTok, and I'm like, wow, these are actually pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was a 16-year-old, but it's been wild. And so this is just the way that different generations are expecting to engage with companies is different, right? And so we did a study of hundreds of businesses through HubSpot Research, and we saw that people are expecting to interact across 13 different channels with companies.
Wow.
Right? It's incredible, right? And that changes by different generations. So absolutely, it changes by stage.
Thank you, Andrew.
Of course.
That was Andrew Lindsay, the VP of Corporate and Business Development at HubSpot.